to create a tweening between those two curves. So I have the curve A at the bottom and the curve B a little bit up. And what we want to do this way, we try to determine the distance between the two planar curves, which I did this way. I transferred both curves A and B, I converted them to a polyline with curve to polyline, which polyline I took, and then I determined the center of those polylines because they were both on the same plane, and then I determined the distance between those two points, which gave me then the distance between both of the curves. Now that I have the distance, I divide this distance with the layer height that I want to achieve. So here I have a distance of 25. Let's say I want to print at the layer height of 1, which would give me then as a result 25.83, because those curves are so much millimeters away, which I from then get an integer, so which then points me at 26 different layers. So now, to be sure that I can blend together those two curves, I open both curves with the command open curve, where I connect curve A, curve B, and I take a very small length, opening length, which I put at 0.1, 0.1. So now I have here and there two open curves, which I want to tween now. So I activate my tween. So I set curve A and curve B, and then I wanted to make a certain number of tweening curves between both, so I had to define a range of 26 steps here between 0 and 1. So I define a range where the domain sits between 0 and 1. 0 means curve A, 1 means curve B. And as I have now here a range of 27 numbers between 0 and 1, I obtain here 27 numbers from the curve A to the curve B, which are 27 individual curves which are located between the bottom curve and the upper curve. So here are those 27 curves. Now, what I want to do, these are open curves, they are not connected. So as I want to draw them on one path, what I take the list of the 27 curves, and then at some point I take out the first index, I color out the first index, and here I color out the last, which I get here from my integer. So I have now two different lists, always the lower and the upper curve, which I blend then together. And as you see here, you see here the little blending lines where we jump from one layer height to another. And then what I do, I take these blending curves and the initial tweening curves, and I join them together. Do not forget to flatten the curves that come from the tweening. And then I put them together and I find this way one curve which I now print can print from the bottom layer to the upper layer in one movement without creating a jumping seam.